All right, what I one more thing I want to do is I want to put these little indents in it. Kind of a little bit like I do with my Santa beards, just with this little, or you can use a chisel to do it. Gonna make it rough, so it's not completely straight. And sometimes if you work at the branch, and like if you were to scoop here, just almost at the end, to try to give it a, let's see if I can show that, how it kind of scoops out a little bit, like this one here scoops out. Oh, I'm using put my thumb on my thumb. It's not bad, but the other thumb, the thumb being squashed, doesn't like it. Again, if you ever cut yourself, make sure you brace yourself and only cut what you want to cut. I mean, that sounds dumb, but it's like I'm going to make this scoop. I don't want to push hard and see where it happens. I just want to go out and back in. That's how you can eliminate cuts, or at least eliminate bad cuts. Well, the pointy heads does kind of, when you run into it, it does kind of hurt. So you're going to do scoops all the way around here. So that's what I want to do. I'll do this. Again, for the sake of saving room on the disc. You just don't need to keep staring at me. Just put your indentations in. And like I said, I wonder if I do have my big chisel in here, what would happen? Let's experiment. Let's take one here. What would happen if I did this? No, it isn't sharp, or as sharp as I want it to be. Well, that might work. Use a chisel instead. Dig as deep in a shell as you want, sideways, up and down ways. Oops, that's not good. That's not good. That was going to break. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm probably going to keep this, but I do need to sharpen this. Should have had this thing prepared. But anyways, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to just go ahead and do that. Just like I said, clean out the bottoms like this, give it a funny angle or a better angle, whatever, or use your knife or V-tool. Let me see if I have use my longer knife. Use whatever is comfortable with you. I do like the knife better as far as I get more control. And what you do, of course, as you scoop, you got to move your knife forward or back. As long as it's moving like a saw. So, I'm going to keep doing this. You keep doing this, and I'll be right back, and we'll compare notes. But keep shaping it. We're almost done. We're almost done with the tree. Keep working. Okay, I got the tree relatively done. It depends on how long or how much you want to do as far as what do you want to do with the undercutting underneath. I really don't. You really don't have to be too terribly concerned with it, except the stuff that's kind of close to the surface. Maybe a hit or two. The reason why, I mean, right now I'm relatively done with this other than some picking. Now you can, if you want, take a V-tool and start making these little extra cuts if you want to for more realism. But this is basically a caricature type carving, so I'm going to leave it at that. Here's an example of a tree that is done in a bigger tree. And this is what I've said before about you want it to be perfectly round. Well, this one came from not a square piece of wood, but a sort of flat piece of wood. And it didn't work out too well. And this is what I did. And what I did was I painted it a forest green. And when you get in there, you get to a point where you really don't see. Especially when this is going to be sitting on top of a shelf or something. It's not going to be what you see underneath there. Nobody's really going to be concerned about. So that's what I did, is a green, and then I took like a mallard green, which is a really deep blue green, and you kind of shove some of that in the cracks there and kind of water it down, so it gives you that shadow, some nice good shadow effects here. And then when it's all dry, it's got to be dry, perfectly dry, is that I just do dry brush the white for the snow. Gives an extra kind of a snowy day. Now this tree could be used, not only this particular carving, it could be used just as a Christmas tree itself. I've done that, just a tree itself as a Christmas decoration, and you put maybe some different colored dots all over, like it's a strung tree or whatever. I don't know, maybe if you want to put some little dots around the branches to really make it look really cool. See here, this is the one that's got the stump showing. You can do that if you want. And now this particular tree, like this one here, like I mentioned before, it's a new book coming out. My book. It's going to be Vintage Santa 2. When you see this, it probably will already be out, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to be carrying the tree like this. And drill 2 holes, or hole on each side, and then I'm going to take some twine, go around, spin around the tree, come back around like he's carrying the tree. But that's that. Let's get back to the carving on hand. Now, I'm going to leave the tree for now and come to the bird. Now the owl, who's going to be sitting on top, I have got this from pictures of owls on the internet. So I came up with my own owl. I think, after seeing other pictures, is that the tail might be a little too long, but we'll deal with that when we carve. This is just a general bird, sort of a general bird, I want to say caricature. Not completely realistic, but not completely cartoon either. The thing that's different between this and Mr. Snowy Owl is, of course, he's got ears. And I'm going to take my pencil. It's going to get started drawing here. Let's first get that center line in. Don't mind my finger that's got a cat scratch on it, who is trying to get on my table right now to get attention. So if you see me kind of jerking or saying shoo or whatever. So let's put the wing in. That'll be about half. See my stellium? It's going to be the same here too. Would like it to be about the same. The thing about the ear is it's just generally almost like a round head, except the puff is in front and kind of back a little bit, I think, with the wind. I'm going to do that with the wind and make it kind of as wide as possible for right now. That's going to go away. So with the exception of this little horn here, it is perfectly round, like all the other, like a barred owl and a barn owl, and see, I think a screech owl has ears. Long-eared owl has long ears. Now, what I'm going to do, like I say, the tail is a little bit shorter, but Well, some of the pictures I gotta get another look at the pictures again. The body's gonna round out, and then the like about like here is what I'm thinking. And again, we don't have to be overly perfect. It is a caricature. This goes away. And, oh, let's get the center wing in. I'll probably just put a little bit this way. A little bit this way. Round things out a bit. It's a matter of rounding things out, but I want to make sure I keep, since this is going to thin out as we carve, I still want to keep this area for the beak. Just like I'm going to write in there, just like I always do with my Santa, kind of, except instead of, I'll just go like that. And this is going to be kind of sticking out a little bit here. This, so we want this, and the eyes are going to be in. And then this is going to be like V-tooled back. That's not V-tooled, I'm sorry, it's chiseled back. And this is going to be chiseled back too. Chiseled this way around the nose. The wing, and I'm going to have the wing out just a little bit. I think that's what I did with this thing too. It's just sort of like take a V-tool and just one layer of, one cut of a V-tool and then come up to it. I think that's about right. So, with that, and like I mentioned, with the tail's going to be something like this. See how the body, this is kind of a thinner body. This is going to be a little more realistic. But see how the body comes down to the tail and just comes out just a little bit. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start like I always start. I like to start with my V-tool. Just start thinking on my V-tool glove on. My glove, V-tool glove or tool glove is last year's glove. So as this glove starts to lose, or so it gets holes in it, then it graduates to this hand, and until this gets so worn out, and therefore then it gets thrown away, and then whatever was in this one, and just kind of keep it rolling. Okay, now I'm going to cut away from, like this, not straight down. Let's cut in this direction, away from the wing. Do I have that there? Away from the wing and towards the body, just to get you started. I don't need to cut that because, like I said, it's going to narrow out. Same here, away from the wing towards the body. I think I choose to make that a little wider this time. Get the curly out of there. And like I said, this is not going to be a totally perfect owl. It's just going to be semi, I want to say semi-real, semi-caricature. I don't do too many bird and animal carvings. I mean, I've done like dogs, Santa and his dogs, and you know, that kind of a thing.